What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe, especially if you love 2-0.
Let's go! This ain't the box like oh, this game he stinks!
Oh shit!
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Monday Morning Quarterback only on A2D Radio. Every Monday, we're going to be brought to you by Fan Up. And listen, it's one of the best fantasy apps there is, especially for new people, right? You don't want to spend money, you get points, right? So many things. But if you love fantasy and you can't, and you want a chance and can't wait for a chance to shut me up, then listen up. You can flex on the competition and Fan Up's daily flex ball contest. You got a game tonight, obviously Monday Night Football. Go check them out. You can download it right on Apple, or if not, go to fanup.app and just be fans. So go check out Fan Up, and they have the yearly contest for your chance to get into a Super Bowl raffle of 5,000 people and a chance to win $225,000. So, and other gifts and memorabilia and all kinds of different things. And I believe throughout the year for the free stuff is you can win jerseys from the Fanatics and different stuff like that. So really cool. Go check out our friends at Fan Up. Download the app and shut me up. You can follow me, TRNON8318. So if you got one, drop it in the comment link. Let's talk about it. We got a ton to talk about on tonight's show, right out of a big-time dub, and we'll look ahead to week 2 with the Eagles and week 2 around the NFL. We'll circle this past Sunday around the NFL. We'll give our predictions on tonight's Monday night game, Ravens, Raiders, and we'll talk about winners and losers, week 1, and Eagles, week 1 breakdown is our main topic at hand. It's going to tie into our poll question brought to you by manscaped.com, and you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Head to toe, baby. Taken care of, head to toe. Go take care of yourself. Use the promo code. Our poll question, yesterday's win changed your expectation for the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Be great today. Fuck with an algorithm one time. Pound the like and make sure, subscribe. Turn your goddamn alerts on. Has it changed your expectations? No. For me, no, because I have different expectations than a lot of other people. When you're talking 10, 11 wins, win a chance to win the division, that's different expectations. So that's a game, for me, I expected to win. Now, that way, no, I don't think anybody, we talked about it on last night's show, I don't think anybody expected that. You don't expect Atlanta to score 6 points at home. You know, you're not the best defense in football. But we made adjustments. Our defense played extremely well to hold them to 6. I don't expect that week in, week out, per se, but the way we were able to score, I expected those things offensively, and I expect us to have a good defense. I'm just saying, not a defense to hold teams in the NFL to 6 points. That's not easy to do, right? And especially in somebody else's building. So that I take away as great, but it didn't change. It didn't change it more of like, then, wow, okay. You know, I was hoping if everything went right, you're talking 10, 11 wins. Well, the only thing it may change a little bit is, okay, maybe they really are an 11-win team. Maybe they really are a 10-win team. And I think that's where it could change for some people. But for me, my expectations were, hey, this team can compete for the division. And if you want to do those types of things, that's a game you go win to start your season off. So great start. You can't ask for anything better as an Eagles fan. You really can't. Now, overreactions, Super Bowl talk, different, winning playoff games. I mean, I would simmer down on those expectations. But if you're a believer of this team, before the season and said, hey, if things can go right, they can compete for this division. If you're a believer of that, then I don't think you're going crazy. But if you had them like 4 wins and this changes, they're making you think that now they're going to win the division, that's where I got to pump your brakes and say, whoa, that's week 1. So I mean, I don't think any week 1 win should change your expectations drastically at all. Maybe they got another win or 2 up their sleeve, maybe. But even that, unless you had them going down there and losing, then maybe your expectations can change like a game or 2. But if that's a game you expect them to win, then no, because it's not really about how you win it. That was pretty. Not every week's going to be pretty either, but that was pretty. I mean, that's everybody got a touch. Everybody got involved. It's like you can circle jerk a whole fucking, whole game ball to everybody. Everybody gets a game ball. Everybody gets a game ball because really, in reality, everybody on that football team deserves a game ball. So that's how I look at it. That's an easy win for you. And you're supposed to be a bad team. So everybody tells me Atlanta's bad. Well, we're supposed to be bad too. So maybe you're not as bad as people thought you were. And honestly, this is the kind of offensive performance I kind of expected down there because their defense is atrocious. But the defense really, if you want to talk about an expectation change, it's me more looking at this defense. Early on, they couldn't stop the run, first 2 drives, and then they calmed themselves down. They made adjustments. They played better football. And again, the whole Atlanta, the 6 in Atlanta. I know Julio's not there, but Matt Ryan's always been able to put up points in Atlanta. And for them not to, kudos to this defense. So my expectation maybe changed a little bit for this defense in terms of the back half of it, more so than the front. I mean, I expect the front to get pressure. We all expected this. So that's if them guys are healthy, they're going to get pressure. But listen, big win to start the year off. And we'll talk about week 2 and San Francisco coming here and what we think of that game and give our early predictions there. But the start of the season off, you can't ask for a better goddamn win. But no, I disagree with the poll. They did not change my expectations, and just because I got them 10, 11 wins. So I got them there. My expectations are you should go win a football game like that. But wow, that's comfortable. We like comfortability here. So that's what I say. Family, tell us what you guys think out there. Let us know, comment in, and how excited are you just moving forward as well?
I mean, first off, comfortability, Tom. I mean, when's the last time we were able to say those words about any team in this city? First off, like before I even get to the poll, right? And I'm going to go away in a poll because we didn't really talk about what we were going to say before the show. The only time we really talked about yesterday's game was briefly before you guys went on the air last night. And I agree with a lot of what you guys talked about last night and a lot of the fam talked about last night. But I'm genuinely just happy today. I'm genuinely happy going back from yesterday because I don't like I hate falling into like the week 1 overreactions. Like, and I'm not going to proclaim this team to be anything based off of last night or yesterday's game. And I'm not going to base the season off of anything. I'm just going to say I think it's again comfortable. I think it's safe to say that all last year we didn't have a happy feeling coming out of many games or any games at all because of how the season started, right? So like it never really got off to that really good start. It was like even in the better moments last season, it was always, oh, that was good, but blank, right? There was always an and but.
Yep. There's a lot of and buts.
Yes, with a lot of things. And what have you and I been talking about all summer? I've been preaching because like you have obviously way higher expectations than I did heading into the season. And that doesn't mean that your expectations are extremely high. You have them winning the division. And I have them not being a 4, 5, 6 win team. I have them going 8-9. I have them competing for the division, competing for the playoffs, but just missing out by a game or 2. So it's not like either of us are crazy on the opposite side of the spectrum. But my expectations all year and what I asked was, 1, just to find out who some of these young guys are. And 2, I just kept saying the same thing over, and that's no nonsense, just football. No nonsense, just football. Because I felt like we've gotten away from that. Forget last season, the last 2-3 seasons. Even if we made the playoffs, it was more nonsense than just football. Well, we're off to a damn good start with that because from the coach to the quarterback to the defense to the adjustments, hey, how about that? We actually saw some damn adjustments in game. Seems like it's been 2 years since we've seen that. It was no nonsense, just football. And I know, like, listen, there's some negatives from it, like the penalties and the false starts. Like, yeah, okay, that's annoying. But at the end of the day, that comes with only playing, 7-8 snaps with the offensive line, at least the starters in the preseason. So like, I can look past that, right? I truly just look at it. When I didn't have them being a bad football team, we talked about that all preseason to where anyone who had this as a 3, 4, 5, 6 win football team, I didn't understand it. I just take one thing out of it, right? And this is why I agree to the poll. And you may not have thought I would go that direction, Tom, because you and I talked last night. And what did I say to you? I said, listen, I just want to see. I just want to see what they do the next handful of weeks, right? Because, and you guys talked about it. I know you guys kind of gave a prediction on how this team would look as far as record after the gauntlet, because it really is a gauntlet for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks. And I don't like playing the schedule thing because you don't know what the 49ers are going to look like full health this week because one of the quarterbacks.
Two guys.
Yeah, Verrett's already out. You know what I'm saying? Their cornerback's already out. You don't know what the Chiefs are going to look like, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Bucs, the Raiders, etc. But before the year, and this is where the expectations change. Because I'm not going to be like, oh, they beat a horrible Falcons team, so I'm going to bump them up 3 wins. And now they're all of a sudden going to win 11 games. I'm not doing that. But I'm going to go into the next 4 or 5 games, home against the Niners, at the Cowboys, home against the Chiefs, at the Panthers, home against the Bucs, to the Raiders. If you would have asked me before the year, I would have thought, oh my God, that's going to, like, it's all about just survival.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have thought, okay, 1-5 coming out of that, 2-6. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not feeling good about that. But the way you go down there in Atlanta, when I don't believe you've won in Atlanta as a football team since 2009, I think that's correct.
I don't remember winning in Atlanta for period, really. So yeah.
So if that's the case, either way, it's been a long time. You held Matt Ryan to, I believe, one of his worst performances in the last 8 years. I think the last time he had such a bad performance was back in 2014, and that was the season finale in 2014.
Yeah, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't put up those types of numbers like he's a rookie, 3.5 yards an attempt in the second half. Like, that's not Matt Ryan. And I know Julio's not there, but it's still never been Matt Ryan. And, they went out and got him another toy. And, our defense played great.
And see, this is the one thing I'll stop, not because you just touched on it. So you're correct. But we're hearing, and I get it, right? Like, oh, yesterday's game was more about how bad the Falcons were as opposed to the Eagles being good, right? Well, the two responses to that, and we'll really see what the Eagles are going forward for the next handful of weeks, clearly. So I'm not saying we know exactly what that team is. But the one thing I haven't heard many people talk about is that the Falcons came out firing yesterday. They had like 100 rushing yards in the first 15 minutes of the game. Yeah. So it's not like, because like you talk about, and again, half the country was trying to say, 75% of the country was trying to say, we're a bad team. Okay, so if we're going into that game saying they're both bad teams, well, the Falcons came out firing. They had an unbelievable start offensively. They couldn't convert in the red zone.
Well, there's the difference in the game. Yeah.
Well, and we then stopped them, Tom. That stopped. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they came out horrible. It's not like they came out with no pulse, the Falcons, that is. So the fact that they went, stale almost on offense and Calvin Ridley couldn't get open anymore and Kyle Pitts, you pretty much schemed Kyle Pitts out of the damn game. They were going to Hayden Hurst late because they couldn't get Kyle Pitts open. Mike Davis was shut down. They didn't go to the any running backs pretty much. So I look at that instead of saying, oh, the Falcons crumbled. No, we made the adjustments and we did that to the Falcons. we figured out finally, it took a little bit longer than usual to stop the run, but we stopped the run, and then we completely solved the passing game because you saw first play, Calvin Ridley, 16 yards. Oh, Kyle Pitts on a seamer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh, okay, here we go. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the first drive, the first 2 drives they had, they went up 3-0. That first drive was like, here we go. Guys couldn't tackle. Nobody could tackle. And you're like, all right, we're playing this game today. Here we are. Same old stuff. And then,
I mean, you saw
you hold them to 3, but you're still not confident. You're like, okay, 3-0. Here we go. This is going to be an offensive shootout, even though we held them to 3, right? Then you go down and score. You make it 7-3. Now we're feeling good because we know we can score. So that's a good drive. It's a great drive. TD pass to DeVonta. Everybody's feeling delicious. But then they go right back down and do it again. They go right back down, and again they have to settle for 3. So kudos, but they got to settle. They got to settle for 3 again, and that settle for 3 again. Then you get off the field the next time, and that get off the field the next time was big. Because at that point, that's coming into this game. You almost expected Atlanta to be able to go up and down the field a little bit because it's Matt Ryan, and that's usually what he does. I'm not saying drop 30 on you. I'm just saying 21, 24 points. If you would have told me the Eagles won 32-24, that's sort of where my head was around anyway. So I didn't expect us to hold them to 10 or under. I mean, so anytime your defense can not only travel and do that or just do a period, is a huge win, especially when it's a new defensive coordinator, a different scheme, right? You have newer players here. And like I said, I thought they were a little too jacked up on assignments early on in this football game, and it led to missed tackles and just some things. But once they cleaned themselves up and calmed down, I mean, this is the kind of defense that when you go over when you're looking at the NFC, you're saying, well, everybody telling me how good Giants defense is. And I know Washington's got a good defense because listen, that's a good offense in San Diego that came in or LA that came in there the other day. But Dallas, I mean, I know it's Tampa, but I mean Dallas' defense has a lot of question marks still. So you're looking at that and you're like, okay, maybe we can, it would be us in Washington, maybe best defenses, but you got a lot of football still to play, right? So, but it's a good start to get you off to the right foot because you do have a tough little 5-game schedule or your first 5, including this one's a little tough, but you got a little tough schedule early on, I guess.
Well, I think there's so many words to describe yesterday's performance, but I just think refreshing is at the top of the list because, and like, I'm not someone that's going to X and O you to death. You know that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll let the experts do that. Like that doesn't really do much for me. And this isn't like, cause I know it's going to come across not only on this show, but just all week, right? That, this is going to be, Jalen's better than Carson or Nick Sirianni's better than Doug. Like, no, nobody's saying that. Anytime we compare it, it's obviously like it's human nature because we're comparing this regime to what we saw last. But like I know you were coaching, during the game, Tom, so you're kind of doing double duty. But the thing that stuck out to me at first, and there was a lot of things, was that in the red zone, in the first half, when the Falcons were, it looked like they were going to score, we were running a 3-man defensive front, Tom. I'm like, whoa, what? And it worked. You know what I'm saying? I'm like a 3-man defensive front in the red zone. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is different. You know what I'm saying? Like the different looks, the ways that you're going to adapt not only to your own strengths, but the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And I think the most exciting part of it, and Nick kind of talked about it post-game, I think between the defense and the offense, it was a very conservative game plan by us. Like, we didn't play hero ball. There was not one play throughout the entire game where I thought, we're playing hero ball. Not one.
There was some hero ball moments. The 4th downs, you could say, were hero ball moments in a way, in terms of decision-making. Which I have no problem with. Like, I'll go for it on 4th down all the time. I'm just saying that's like that. That's now. I would say the play calling, I wouldn't say it was hero ball, right? But in terms of decision making, there was some hero ball. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, I would just say, and I know you guys talked about it last night. The going forward on 4th, like I don't necessarily mind the the decision to go for it. I more so mind what you did with it. Like I don't. And listen, this is
I got a running quarterback. I'm RPOing. I'm bellying. I'm making linebackers have to make decisions. I'm making DNs decide on what the fuck they want to do. I got to make everybody's got to make a decision. If I got a quarterback that can move and make those calls, because he's been making those types of play calls his pretty much his whole career.
And I wouldn't have gone
football career.
I wouldn't have gone with Gainwell either. And again, it's Monday morning quarterbacking we're doing right now. We're nitpicking. But again, we can do that when you win such a convincing way like he did. But I would have more so gone with Miles, who, like, I know we've really been critical of Miles, and we need to be just because of how much we expect of him. But Miles Sanders was terrific yesterday. He was terrific. He was walking into 5-6 yards per touch. You know what I'm saying? So where late in the proceedings in the second half, I would have more so gone with him just because he was an automatic 5 yards. You know what I mean? But again, it doesn't really matter because.
And I always say, well, if Gainwell breaks one and goes 80, we're running and screaming. So I don't care as much of who the player is. Just like I'm probably not going to do a dive on 4th and 2. Like you know what I mean? I think there's other things that you can do, as other than try to dive either one of your running backs up the middle for 2 yards. Now 4th and 1, okay, you want to do a dive? I just the play call, yeah, I agree with. Not even so much the play, not even so much of who's in the backfield, just why don't do a dive on that with your personnel, because your personnel is more speed oriented. So it's not really dive oriented.
The reason why I say we didn't necessarily see hero ball, it's because, and again, this isn't a shot at the old regime or the old quarterback, but we had a quarterback in an offense that they played within the offense yesterday. They took what the defense gave you.
Major concerns about Carson Wentz holding on to the football too long. Carson Wentz not going through his progressions fast enough. But the same conversation progression-wise can be had for Jalen to a point. But I thought yesterday he did a good job of making those decisions quick. There was a couple times that he didn't let it happen and he escaped too early. But there was other times where I thought like the one touchdown pass that got her, he stepped up, then escaped. And that's sort of what more I want to see him do. You don't have to go. You step up, you let things figure out, and then you roll out and make teams have to make decisions on what they want to do, and then you throw it strike. Because I think, if he can be accurate on the move, that's huge. That's huge because I want him moving around. But I needed to be able to see him throw enough in the pocket and go through it. And I thought to that point that he did a good job for the most part yesterday doing that. When the other quarterback last year, listen, it's hard to be worse than what we watched last year. That's not trying to take a shot at Carson. That's just the facts of the matter. And that was his problem, was holding on to the football too long and not trusting what's out there, right? Mm-hmm. And it was nice to see. It was nice to see that being different.
Yeah, I mean, all last year and for the last couple of years, the offense was kind of okay, 11, just go and do things. You know what I'm saying? Just go do things. Whether we liked it or not, it was just, okay, just go do your thing. And again, that's trusting your quarterback, and we didn't mind it in the moment. But I will go to that one, and that was this is not breaking news, but that was the turning point of the game, clearly, to where you go down, you're getting the ball on the other side of the half, and you're able to not just get 3 points, you're able to get 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I believe you got 8. Didn't they get 8 there?
Yeah, they got 8. They went for 2.
So you're able to get 8 there, and on that play, right? Like you have the Gainwell touchdown that gets called back and everyone was ripping Lane, but when you go back and look at it, Lane wasn't in the wrong necessarily for being the illegal man downfield because it was a broken play and they got it to Gainwell late. So it was like the way it was schemed out, it was supposed to be fine. But on that pass to Goddard, there were 2 things that stuck out to me where the confidence goes higher if he continues to do it. Because again, a guy who's only played about 3.5 games going into this year, even if you want to count that final game.
Yeah.
And then obviously, again, you don't know, there's not a lot of chemistry there because you didn't see a lot of it in the preseason. There were 2 other things he could have done there. Instead of throwing it to Dallas, and that was a great catch by Dallas, by the way. He could have, gone back to what he did in Alabama, and that was okay because he had a lot of space. He could have ran for it, which even if he would have gotten in, I would have, hindsight 2020, probably would have said that was a mistake because one, you're trying to stay healthy, and two, what if you don't get in? You have a running clock that's down to 5 seconds, I believe. So if you don't get in, then you're not getting any points.
Well,
you're going to timeouts.
To your point, any guy who can run around and do the things he does, he's been pressed on and beaten with the hey, keep your eyes downfield, even when you're running out of the pocket, right? And that's the big thing when you talk about that, like be able to keep your eyes downfield and not just tuck and go, right? With that instinct of just, oh, I can run everywhere I got to run to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing you want to be able to see because space opens up when you can escape a pocket. And if you're escaping, automatically thinking the run, then that's bad too. If you're escaping too early from the pocket because you can run, is bad too. So you got to be able to trust it and trust your instincts and trust going through all that. And then at the end of the day, if none of that's available and you go, right, you're going to see what he did yesterday, right, where he's going to have 60 yards plus on the ground, and that's the difference maker when you can do both and not have to abuse the one, where everybody now knows what you're going to do. That run becomes so effective. Now everybody knows he can run, but if you can show defenses and people are going to watch fucking tape on you all week long that you can keep your eyes downfield, you're going to go through your progressions. Now they got a game plan for you to throw the football, right? And now that escapability, it becomes twofold. And there's going to be times where there's going to be times because he's young where he's going to escape early and he's not going to trust it and he's going to go. And you hope that he continues to get coached up and understands it. But either way, this kid can make plays. We know he can make plays. And anybody out there that doesn't think he can is crazy. It's can he stay in and throw enough from the pocket? And I thought for the most part he did a very good job of that week one. If that expectation can change for week one and for anybody out there that didn't think he could do it, right? Like that's like, okay, you showed us you can sit there. But yeah, I mean, you're right. That throw that Goddard there shows a little bit of a transformation of being able to trust that and make that throw and not feel like you have to just, I got a little bit of space, I can just go.
Well, and the other thing too, which again, I don't want to say inexperienced because oh, good. I'm glad. No, I saw not only in the comments, but I got a lot of texts from people being like, went into it with no expectations, genuinely happy. You're like, I got a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? To where people were, I knew a couple people that went golfing yesterday instead of watching. They were watching it on tape, and I was blowing them up on the phone. I'm like, you regret going now? You know what I'm saying? And listen, it was a frustrating offseason. I get it. So anyone who was going into it with extremely low expectations or still pissed off with the organization, nobody's trying to say that they're absolved of all those things. But it's a really good stepping mark, whether they win 8 games, 9 games, make the playoffs or whatever, because if he's good, if Jalen's good, if the young players are good on this team, if the coach can coach, if the coordinators are what they looked to be yesterday, and then you see what you have set up for us after this season with the picks and the money, then you could start getting serious. Then we can get crazy again.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Good this year, Ryan. They can win the division. That's the crazy thing. We don't even got to get into all the money. You're right. We got plenty of time to talk about that. Money and picks. But there's a lot. There's a lot under the Christmas tree coming up. In March per se, right? There's a lot under the Christmas tree, and you can make that Christmas even better by him being good. To your point, but not only that Christmas being better, but you can go win a division this year. Like I'm not. People tell me, Tom, you're crazy. You think I'm fucking crazy? They're loaded on both fronts of the football. If you're loaded and healthy on both fronts of your football, you can win a division. The second that's not healthy anymore is the second that I'm going to have major fucking concerns about this football team. But right now, they're healthy, and knock on wood, and as long as they're healthy, and we don't got to do goddamn prayer services, this football team can compete and win this division. That's just a fact. Because up front, name another group that's better. Combined better up front, and has the amount of money dished in up front on both sides, not just one. You can tell me Washington. Yeah, great defense. A lot of assets up front. Gotcha. Offensive line, not as much as ours. You tell me the Giants. Giants offensive line, no. Right? Defensive line, no. Dallas, yes. Offensive line, when guys are healthy and playing, yes. Right? Defensive line, no. They're a step under us.
Yep.
So, I mean.
And we didn't even, and again, like I'll go back to it, both offensively and defensively, we didn't flash everything. Like I don't think we rushed more than 4 for a majority of time. So it's not like we were blitz, rush 6, rush 5. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a very conservative, take what they give you type of a mentality, and you blitzed them. You flat out ran them out of their own building. And like I said, like we both had limited expectations for the Falcons. Like we weren't saying the Falcons were anything, but this is a former MVP quarterback here. This is Calvin Ridley, who's a really good player. Kyle Pitts, we didn't buy into the hype to where, he's going to have 200 yards, but we thought, okay, he's going to have a pulse in this game. Like I asked last night, like the third guy we were talking about on Wednesday that we can't have a big game is Russell Gage, because he's that forgotten guy who's pretty talented. He had 1 catch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Mike Davis, nothing other than the first quarter.
Yeah.
Cordero Patterson, like they stopped going to him. So once you absorb, they had no options. And then towards the end, it was okay. Then their offensive line just got worn down. It was open up the floodgates. I did see a couple of questions, and the one, this is a big one. I don't want to say it's a big one, but one of the negatives that I had and a lot of people had, and again, it's nitpicking because you won by like 27 points. John Adcock says, how do you guys feel about the returners dancing sideline to sideline? They are trying to do too much for me. Quez went backwards every time. I don't know if that's just an inexperienced thing, but that's the one thing you can't have happen going forward. But again, I'm nitpicking. Like I'm not going to be like, that the special teams gets an F for that. But yeah, that's something that pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean, listen, going backwards, I get it. He's trying to make a play. He's young, and he's not realizing that this is a different level, babe. This isn't even the college ranks, right? No matter what level of college you played or how big of a school you played at, the speed's different. You can't get away with that. You can get away with that maybe on like a screen where you bounce backwards and find the hole, but you're not doing that on punt returns. Guys are fast. Guys are going to catch you. So, I mean, I could do without it, but it's probably to me that's just an inexperienced thing.
Mm-hmm. Bailey says, "Did DeVonta Smith have a good game?" Damn right he did.
Yeah.
He says, "What were your thoughts on how Jalen Reagor, DeVonta, Arcega-Whiteside, and Hurts played?"
Well, I think DeVonta makes this game easier on everybody because you have your pure route runner. He showed that obviously yesterday. He's going to continue to show that one. I think that opens up Jalen Reagor and takes some pressure off of him. But there's listen, he made plays. Jalen Reagor made plays in space, and that's what he has to be able to do for this football team. That's why he was drafted in the first round, because he supposedly can make plays in space. So it's good to see. I don't care what defense you're playing against. It's good to see. Yeah, we heard about JJ blocking great. Good. I mean, that's fine. And like Nick said, which was refreshing, like, hey, I mean, it's great. I mean, he blocked awesome, but he's got to catch balls too. And so the teams don't automatically know that's what he's in there for. And he talked about Gainwell having the block better, because teams need to know that he's not in there to run, and we're going to run the football, right? So I thought it was refreshing to hear like coaches, like, because all around the league they give you they give you the status quo answers on things, but he was honest about what guys need to do better in those spots. And then he's asked about Jalen Hurts, and I mean, Hurts played great. I mean, it's hard to play better than he played yesterday. It really is. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to play better.
By the way, our man Carson says the Eagles going to win. Eagles going to win the Super Bowl. Appreciate you, Carson.
Yeah, probably, since you're not here, I guess. And there's some. Is there? Bob says if there is progress each week, we'll be on to something. Yeah. Then Bob, I think they. I was early here. I think they win this week too, because the quarterback coming in town don't scare me one bit, and I'm not going to worry about Trey Lance beating me right now. So I mean, I'm not scared. They got a great defense. I ain't taking anything away from their defense. But I'm not scared of that offense. I'm just not. I'm not.
You know what's funny? And listen, one of them is an MVP, a former MVP. The other one's not. But I think game plan wise, I think you can game plan very similar for Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for example,
I'm not telling you they're beating the Bucs and the Chiefs. I'm telling you they're beating the Niners at home. They're beating the Niners. Jimmy G stinks, and I'm not going to be scared of him traveling here and beating me. If Matt Ryan scores 6 in Atlanta, I should be able to keep Jimmy G under 10.
Well, you look at it, right? Let's look at the parallels. And again, we would assume not only because the Niners beat the Lions and they actually won the game and they put up 30 points, not 6 like the Falcons did, but you just look at how both offenses are structured. You have a quarterback that is relatively similar. He's going to get the ball out quick. He's going to use his weapons, etc. He's not going to use his legs too much. You know what you're getting from both of those. You're going to have a running game where, okay, the 49ers running game is better, but Mostert got hurt. You know what I'm saying? I know they have other guys out there. I know they have Trey Sermon, but you know what you're getting with their running backs. Then you look, okay, George Kittle, monster, right? He's going to be better than Pitts, but can you slow down Kittle? I know you can use Kittle a lot of different ways, more than you use Pitts, but can you slow him down?
I'm not. Even if you don't, like, who else is beating you up?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume if you were able to get Calvin Ridley out of the game after that first quarter and kind of slow him down, I would imagine you're able to slow down Deebo Samuel. And we were talking about it yesterday.
Right? I mean, Calvin Ridley's better.
He's way better.
I'm not trying to compare the two. Every game's different in the NFL, right? But I just look at their quarterback, like who's coming into town, and I don't care what the rest of your roster is. He shouldn't come in here and spin all over on you and beat you. So if he doesn't beat you, then you're in a dog. Then okay, if their defense is great, then you're in a dog fight, and in a dog fight, then you need to get one more score. So that's sort of how you can look at it, just as simple as possible.
No, I mean, Tom, I looked at it, and we talked about this last night, you and I. If you come out of this, because you obviously had Falcons, the Niners, then Cowboys, is that a Thursday game?
What, the Cowboys?
Yeah.
I thought the Cowboys was a Monday nighter.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me see.
I knew it was something weird because I know they weren't going to dare put us on Sunday Night Football again based off of the DiNucci game, but I just thought it was something.
We were 9:27. We were Monday night 8:15.
Okay.
Week 3.
Okay, well that's good. You have an extra day to prep and everything, and then you have Chiefs after that.
Then you got Chiefs at home.
Come out of that 2-2, 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Because if you beat the Niners this week, it's like a progression, right? Because I think the Cowboys, I have them winning the division. So I have the Cowboys as a better team than the Niners. So the way you beat the Falcons this week makes me feel a lot better going against the Niners. Mm-hmm. And then if you handle the Niners, I don't care if you beat them by 2 or 20, then okay, I'm feeling a lot better going against the Cowboys. And then that's going to go on that's going to go on until you obviously lose, right? I mean, to that point. Then I think it stops in week 4.
But that's the whole. But then if you're thinking that though, if you're on even the premise of thinking they can win 3 in a row, it might, then why not that fourth one? Outside of being the NFL, you're not going to win every game. But my point is, like, the one thing I don't, and people do it, but I see a lot of people, I don't want to put too much hope into this or too much stock into it. Then fine. Our whole goal as fans is to be invested. So not you. I'm saying, like, our whole goal is to be invested into this. So, like, instead of like people saying, well, let's wait and see how it plays out. Like, no, get all in. And if it doesn't go well, what else is new? So, I mean, that's how I look at it. Instead of waiting and like, your expectations don't have to be winning the division, but your expectations are like, man, we can compete. Let's go. And everybody like waiting. We don't have to wait. If we think we can beat the Niners, then we should be able to think we can beat the Cowboys. So, I mean, not that we're going to win both of those games, but to your point, if you're 3-0 going into that, then that's a huge fucking football game because you're rolling. You're rolling. I mean, you just beat a playoff team and a team that's projected to win your division.
If
that's huge. That's gigantic.
If you come out of that 3-0, right? You start 3-0.
I'm not polling each other. Everybody be polling each other. I mean, you can't even get any more excitement than that.
If you start 3-0, and I hate it sounds stupid to be like, oh, you're playing with house money in September. Like, I'm not doing that. But based off of the schedule, because again, it's on paper, it's all about survival in the first 7 weeks. Like, then it opens up later, right? It opens up. You got the Giants and Washingtons and the Jets and the Giants again, the Broncos and the Lions. So you got the Lions, which is good. So, and there's some winnable games. Like, I like the Panthers, but that's very winnable. But if you start 3-0, then all right, you can afford to drop one against the Chiefs and drop one on Thursday night against the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? You're okay. You're not. It's not like you're 1-5 at that point. You're 3-2, 4-2, 3-3.
Yeah, it's about the games you win. Like you would almost rather lose the Niners game and beat the Cowboys if you had to pick one of them because it's divisional. So you would rather have that if you could pick it, but right in front of you, they had a good chance of winning the next 2 weeks. Now, will they? We'll see. But they have a chance to compete in both weeks and have a chance to win football games. So, I don't know how anybody it doesn't have to change your expectations. I just don't know how everybody's not excited from what they watched yesterday to say, you know what, I'm excited for Sunday. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Like you're always excited for week one. You don't know what you're getting, blah, blah, blah. But you're always excited for week one just because football is back. But as the season goes on, right, the flavor runs out if your team stinks. The flavor runs out a little bit. Okay? You're chewing on that same piece of gum too long. If you're playing good football and in it, that flavor stays. So we're about winning each week. Right? Win each week. So if they go and win next week, I honestly believe this fan base is going to be off their rocker. Because then I think you're going to have the overreactors. And I think they're going to win next week. And I think you're going to see the overreactors. And then you're going to see people that are and I'm saying overreactors man, this team's going to win. This team's going to Super Bowl. Those overreactors. You
know what it is? The more you say that, because again, you go back to typical Philly. We know how things work. It would be typical Philly for us to win, just win, period. I don't give a damn if it's win big, win by 2. You beat the 49ers. We're even more jacked up than we are now. Then we've got the overreactors saying, oh, we've got the Noah Eatons, and I love Noah, but we've got the Noah Eatons saying, oh, we're going to beat Dallas by 50 in Dallas on Monday Night Football. And then you lose that game. And then you've got, we stink again, right? The people can't find the happy medium. It's either, we're going to win by 50 or, we stink.
Or I told you so's. Because then I told you so's we're going to come running around. Maybe Greg might tell us so. I mean, he's really low on him, and that's fine. Usually that's a good thing for us. So we hope he stays low on him. Keep picking against him. He knows his job here. But
yes,
there's people not him, because he'll have no problem saying if Jalen can play, he can play, right? So
he's not. No, he's
Todd, one of our A2D members. Todd can't get over it yet. Oh, it's just week one. I still don't know if he can play. Well, then you didn't watch because you don't. I'm not saying he can play and he's going to be your franchise guy and he's going to play here for the next 10 years. I've just told you guys from day one, if you can run around and you can make plays when you're young, then guess what? You got a chance of being good. And if you watch yesterday and didn't say to yourself, man, he looks good. I don't know what. Then you're just sitting there telling yourself, well, he looks good, but it's just Atlanta. Okay, I understand it's just Atlanta, but he's still got to look good because there's the opposite side of that nobody ever wants to talk about. And the opposite side of that is he could have looked like shit. He could have looked like dog shit yesterday, and he didn't. That's the other side of it. If that was the other side, it wouldn't have mattered if we were just playing Atlanta, right? People can't have it both ways. He looked great yesterday. Not good. He looked great yesterday.
Oh, Tom, what was I saying all for the last handful of weeks? If he's just good, they're going to be a good team. Good. He was great yesterday. And I'm not saying nobody's coming in here saying he's going to have a great game all 17 weeks. No, hell no. Absolutely not. There's going to be bumps in the road every time. There was bumps in the road in 2017. You know what I'm saying? Very minimal, but there was. So nobody's saying he's a perfect quarterback. But if your takeaway
he's never going to throw a pick or he's not going to.
No, there's going to be games where there's going to be oh, what the hell was that, Jalen? Oh, what the hell was that, Nick? No, absolutely. There's going to be times where you question things. It's the progression of a young quarterback and a coach, 100%. But if you don't have the takeaway coming out of yesterday's game of this guy more looked like a 5-10 year vet than a flat out rookie, then I think you're watching another game. Like, at no point did they look like they were even close to touching him. He never looked flustered. He never had a throw where I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have thrown that there. And he didn't have – there were some throws where they weren't great, like the Zach Ertz when he was wide open. Like, yeah, that's got to be a better throw. But you're going to have that. And I think, first off, credit to Burkhardt and Greg Olsen, because I thought the broadcast was excellent yesterday. And I don't say that a lot because I think a lot of broadcast teams –
yeah, that's where I miss you with. I wasn't volumed up when it was in my hat, and I was watching it, coaching third base.
Yeah, I mean, and 99% of the time, Tom, I'm actually envious of you when you say like you didn't have it on, right? Because they either overtalk you, or you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of broadcast.
It's just the experience. Like, I don't care who it is on TV. That's the thing. Like, I don't care what the broadcast guys say, even when they're on. It's just sound per se. For me, it's always just been sound. Like, there's great guys when they're on. You're like, yeah, I love this crew. And then there's other guys like, I just don't care enough what you're saying. You said something stupid again. Shut up. But yeah, I don't care why. Were they good?
No, they were. You're right. There's a difference between, like, usually a broadcast crew, their job is to not take away the experience. Like, the worst thing a broadcast crew can do is make you think about them, right? Because then you're be like, oh, what the hell is this guy saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the stupid Collingsworth stories, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's stuff that we can all talk about. But with Greg Olsen, his analysis of playing as the tight end and playing along with the quarterback was really good. And I've always liked Burkhardt. I just think he's just a good play-by-play guy. But what they talked about on that Jalen Hurts throw to Zach Ertz when he was wide open, because what's everybody going to say? Oh, that's Jalen Hurts doesn't have the arm. That's it. And they're going to point to that. But Greg Olsen made a good point that, and we've seen this with Wentz, we've seen this with a lot of quarterbacks. When somebody's that wide open, what's your instinct? Well, you're going to guide it to them because you don't need to do anything extra to it. You don't need to throw a bullet because you don't have to weave it between a defender. If a guy's wide open and there's nobody within 10 yards of him anyway.
You bob it a little bit. You try to aim it.
Yes.
Like aim it to a spot a little bit. Like not just in fluid motion as you would just ripping it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's common sense. And your job as a wide receiver, tight end, etc., is to work yourself back to the football anyway. So I'm sure that's what he didn't do. I'm sure he didn't work back either. No, and it was a combo of a low throw and then not work back.
And it's Zach Ertz, so of course he fell down. Like, I love Zach, but
he's never on his feet. We love him.
Of course he fell down, and it wasn't a catch either. But he would have caught it if he didn't fall down. You know what I'm saying? So it's the amount of people I saw on Twitter and people this morning that were still talking about it. Again, the yeah but crowd, Jalen looked good, but that Zach Ertz throw, it's like what?
Yeah, and then you have this throw that Jay's talking about. Like, that's an elite throw on the run. Right. And that's an elite throw on the run. And when you can make an elite throws on the run, you know, that's what can separate you. Listen, the kid had a couple bad throws that he like that back, and a couple times that, you know, in that where he escaped the pocket too soon, right, and didn't go through his reads. But overall, I mean, that's an A performance. That's an A performance. You combine for 300 yards, essentially, right, from passing and throwing. You had a QB rating like 126, right? You had a completion percentage of 70%. I mean, Jesus, this ain't the Big 12. I mean, a completion percentage of 70% at the NFL level. I mean, if you don't take that out and say that's a huge positive because I'm a fucking Eagles fan, then I can't help the haters. I can't help the people that they just want to hate because things didn't go well with the last guy. The last guy is gone. He's
irrelevant.
Not coming
He's
back.
Irrelevant. He's irrelevant to us.
The pick's irrelevant. Give me a second. Give me a first. I don't care. All right. I'm getting something back. I'm either gonna have 2 firsts and 2 seconds or 3 firsts and a second. It's still great and a lot of money. So who cares? Stop talking about him. Talk about the quarterback here. What we saw from the quarterback here is a guy who looks like he has gotten better. Now, will that continue? I don't have a crystal ball. I want to believe it will, though. I want to believe the hard work and the leadership and the things you hear about. Right? That he wants to be great. Because if he wants to be great, okay? If he wants to be great, he can be. And that's up to her. And that's up to him. And Mark, no, I mean, I get it. It's his 5th game. We got to remember. But it's his 5th game, and he's played well for the most part in those 5 games. I mean, the numbers state that he's played well. And I'm not a big like this. My eyes got to tell me too. But yesterday's game showed me more with the eyes from year 1 to year 2 is what I took out of that he is calmer in the pocket. He looks more relaxed. He looks like he trusts things better. If you didn't take that out of it, then not you, Marky, the people out there that are haters, and Marky's not a hater, but the people out there that are haters, if you didn't take that out of it, then you just aren't watching it. Then you're not watching it with clear lenses, right? You're fogged. You got a little fog, and you got to unfog your fucking self.
The big thing, Tom, and you talked about it with the Dallas Goedert touchdown throw, it's that in the past with the Alabamas, you know what I'm saying, the a little bit last season, he ran because he had to, right? In one game, again, we could be saying this next Monday that it was completely different, but
Sunday you get dogs come and get you. So I mean, Sunday you got a lot of guys coming to get you.
But in this game, he showed he ran because he wanted to. He didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like, second read run. No, he went through his progressions. Last year, it was, okay, first read, he's not available. Okay, I'm going to go.
And he has a comfortability with not only some of the players back, but with DeVonta Smith.
They look like they've been playing together for 10 years. They look like it's unbelievable. The chemistry.
Essentially, they have. You know what I mean? Essentially, they played together for enough time to know each other and have a feel for each other. And listen, I mean, that doesn't excite you. Yeah, Bill, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this was my stone cold lock of the week that they covered them and the Cowboys. I mean, it was a no-brainer, and not even covered. They were going down there and winning that football game, and they're not only that, they're going over to 6.5. The 6.5's easy. The 6.5's fucking easy. If the 6.5 wasn't easy for you from Jump Street, then you just, and I get it. People just didn't know. But if you didn't watch the offseason and some of the things, and you're like, okay, if this guy can just play, if this guy's just good, we can be good. If this guy's good. And right now, from week 1, and the little sample size we saw last year from him, it looked like he's getting better, right? You can say right now, look, listen, he's gonna have a good year. You can go out there and say that. People told me, right, I was crazy thinking he's gonna combine 30 touchdowns, combined from rushing and passing. Well, we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. People told me I was crazy about DeVonta Smith too, right? Too small, too this, too that. Okay, he's the best route runner in the fucking draft. And listen, I loved it. Like, I know everybody, Jamar chasing me right now, but listen, just remember that touchdown, another fucking go route. I never questioned the go route. I never questioned Jamar Chase being able to run the go route. Can he run every other fucking thing in the tree? I got Jamar Chase hate because I just like Devontae better. So just don't mind me, people.
No, Tom, I mean, we talked about this. We clashed. Well, I think Greg was kind of at the top of like the Chase train. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth that there's a lot of extra you're going to get with DeVonta as far as how he can beat a defense. Chase could probably get to that. And listen, he's got the size and the speed. Like, Chase is a monster, okay? But DeVonta Smith, for everything that he doesn't have, which is the size and the strength and everything, he's going to be open all the time. All the freaking time. And I'm not going to go into the people that were saying, last year the coaching staff didn't put the wide receivers in spots to succeed. I'm not going to do that because, number one, is there some truth to that? Of course. The coaching staff nothing was good last year. But a lot of it was based off of the players, too. So that's not going to absolve.
Listen, last year's over, right? In so many words, and not in so many words, it's done. Everything's new. Besides, like, some players back. Everything's new. Everything's
the reason why I bring that up is because you have guys that have a skill set. I'll just start with DeVonta, and that you've seen already that you have a coaching staff that's going to use their strengths to get them open. It's not, Jalen Reagor, you're fast, we're going to have you run straight. Quez Watkins, you're fast, we're going to have you run straight. DeVonta, you can run good routes, we're going to play in the slot. No, they're going to have you open. That Jalen Reagor touchdown, we never saw that last year. And number one, where he burst the speed, that was the first time. And I was talking
we've seen that type of play call. We just don't have we didn't have the personnel to run any of this shit.
Nope.
I mean, that's what a number one wide receiver gets you.
Mm-hmm.
He gets your actually play calls. I always say this, like, your play call is going to look better when you have pimps running your play calls.
Yeah, makes it easier.
I always believe that. Let me see play calls now next week, right? Like, I'm not my uncrowning right now is Nick Sirianni. Like, I'm not going to run and start making it all about Nick Sirianni, right? Like, Jalen Hurts is the one playing quarterback, right? And You went out and you got better. That's the difference. Like if I'm looking at it, you got better as a football team. So I look at the players. Like if you have great players and damn good players, then can coaching get you a Lombardi? Yes. Right. But I don't know if coaching is taking you from 4 to 10 wins in the National Football League. Not saying you're saying that. To say like in general, like I don't think you're getting that jump from 4 to 10. What gets you to jump is going and getting fucking players.
Oh no, talent wins. Talent wins.
What they did is they brought back Zach Ertz. They got DeVonta Smith. Right. They went the whole offensive line's back that was out that didn't count essentially. They went out and got a middle linebacker. They went out and got another safety. They went out and got another corner. Like they went out and got better in spots. And I think you saw a little bit of that on Sunday.
Bill has a question real quick, and then we'll bounce around the NFL real quick. He says, question, Rye or Tommy, what is the punter's name? Sipas. I don't know his first name. Sipas is his last.
Yeah, I don't even know his name.
He says, if yesterday wasn't just a lucky day and he continues to pin teams inside the 10, that would be huge, and people take that for granted. Let's go. No, again, everything went our way yesterday. The only thing that didn't go our way was there was a handful of interceptions that should have been interceptions that we didn't catch, but whatever. Okay, then turn that into an interception next week, right? Like there's a couple fumbles that could have been recovered by us. They weren't. Okay, fine. I will say though, Tom, it's been a couple years since we've seen this. You know what our cornerbacks did yesterday? The guys in the secondary did yesterday? You're going to laugh at me, but it's the truth.
What, they knock balls down?
Well, yes, but you know why they were able to do that?
Why? Because they're better?
Well, yes. By the way, Nelson had a really good game. Slay did well, too. They turned around towards the football, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
They were facing the football.
Yep, getting your head around is always a good time.
When's the last time we said that? We haven't said that in years. Oh, my God.
Like Slay didn't even get his head around last year either, right? I mean,
nobody did. They never looked at the football. That's why we couldn't intercept anything, because they were hitting the back of our heads.
What up, Kyle? Yeah, Mark, he was a little Howie praise. And yeah, right, you're right. And Eagles champ, like Darius did a good job last year. He just didn't show up enough, right? I just feel like this defense is better where maybe some of this can show up and you have another guy playing the other side that's a legit pro and not like, Frenchie or somebody who can't play in this league.
You want to bounce around the East and then go NFL real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll start in the East, and I would say the biggest takeaway. So we've got Washington loses against the Los Angeles Chargers. They lose 20-16. Biggest thing coming out of this game is that Fitzpatrick goes on the IR quickly. Like it obviously we were watching the Eagles during that portion, but it didn't feel like he was in the game for very long at all.
No, their offense stinks. I don't care what happens. I mean, their offense isn't good enough. The Washington doesn't scare me one bit. My biggest takeaway is they are who I thought they were.
Now, I jokingly said this in the chat last night, but do you see them trying to get cute and going after a quarterback, maybe a Cam, maybe they try to trade for somebody, or do they just go with Heineke for the rest of the year? Or until Fitzpatrick comes back, because it looks like this Fitzpatrick thing. I'm not going to do what Greg said yesterday, where he blew out his hip, but he's going to be out for a minute. He's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they could. I mean, I don't know if they will, but they probably will dabble into something because they only got 2. So,
do you see them possibly looking into the Watson thing? Or do you see them more like, I know Rivera because of the COVID thing?
I would think more of the Cam side of things, but
which I don't know about you though, Tom. But good. Like
I'm not saying they will. They might just go with Heineke and go Colin Allen as backup. Like they might not do anything.
I forgot about Allen. Allen can play a little bit.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it might just be a low level guy they bring in. They might not go that route. But would I be shocked if they went like Cam? No. Would I be shocked if they got in on the Watson game? No, Foles, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would just go with Heineke at that point. But could they get in on some of the bigger names? Sure. But my biggest takeaway from them is they're just okay. You know what I mean? They haven't gotten better.
the biggest thing with you that you said is that they need their defense to be like Broncos 2015 defense.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
And
that
it's
good.
not can it become that in a couple years? Because here's the thing, their secondary still isn't that good. It's their front four is it's destructive.
Yeah.
But their secondary isn't great.
So it's their biggest takeaway. Another big takeaway is Daniel Jones is exactly who everybody thought he was. He fucking stinks.
He stinks.
And then go get him every weapon they want to get him. He's not good enough. He's going to kill that football team. And, granted, Saquon's just off an injury, but he looked a little slow. So, we'll see. We'll see. I expect him to get back and be okay, but usually that's an injury that takes you maybe sometimes an extra year, depending on the player. But we've seen AP come back from it and be fine. So, I think he's going to be fine, but they didn't look good offensively yesterday. And I know Denver's a good defense, but not a good start if you're a Giants fan in terms of Daniel Jones.
Well, and Joe Judge just doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He challenges a scoring play and he cost his team a timeout. He challenges a non-reviewable play. Like, what are you doing? There's a handful of times I'm like, what are you doing that for, dude? What are you doing that for? And again, the Broncos aren't the Broncos of they're not the Super Bowl team. Like, the Broncos are very beatable. They have weapons, and prayers to Jerry Jeudy, by the way. You do not want to see that happen. Obviously, you and I love him, and it looks like they might have dodged a bullet a little bit because they were saying high ankle sprain as of last night. I don't know if any other reports came out this morning about him. But that was a very, very winnable game for them. And the quarterback sucks.
Yeah.
Saquon looks like a shell of himself right now, and you don't know how long he's going to be healthy. So when you talk about that team, not to quote the infamous line, but they are exactly who we thought they were.
Yeah, the Giants. Yup. And the other takeaway from the other team in the East is we know what Dallas can do offensively, and they're a problem offensively. So
I'll ask you this, right? And listen, you were all over this. You and I had a hot week with the locks. We went 6 for 6, but you started the train with obviously preaching that Dallas was going to cover in that. And you and I were talking that night, and I was yelling at you. I'm like, Tom, they better not win. They better not win this game. And
I didn't want to take them necessarily to win. I really wanted to go on the cover side. Mm-hmm. But there you go.
But I'll ask you guys this, and maybe this could be a week one overreaction, but I had this feeling before the year. It's why I didn't draft him in fantasy. Is Zeke done? Like, is he – I'm not saying, like, done, but is the Ezekiel Elliott of, like, 16, 17, 8, is that – because now he's – the biggest reason why I didn't touch him in fantasy – because here's the thing. When's the last time you saw a running back have 2 bad seasons, then come back and have a great year? Usually once you hit that wall, you're kind of
like one good year, one bad year, and then you come back and have a good year to year after. Fine, but you've had 2 back-to-backers. That's hard for me to think like, okay, the explosiveness, the power's there. It's a lot of fucking hits, man. It's a lot of hits.
And he doesn't like. I know he's able to catch passes out of the backfield and everything. And I, by the way, I really like Gallup. I think we both like. Not Gallup.
Slow. Ezekiel just looks slow. He doesn't have I don't know. He just looks slow. He didn't get away with having the greatest agility in the world previously. He had speed and he was a big back. And I think he lost some of that zip.
Well, he does. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. The week one thought with me is that he doesn't look like he fits that offense anymore. Like the old Jason Garrett offense was, okay, you run to set up the pass, to take pressure away from an inexperienced
throwing to set up the run, and they can't run it well. So,
that's what I'm saying. Like because now
listen, they owe him a lot of money, right? And don't be surprised if Pollard starts seeing more and more carries there because he's a change of pace. He's got a little more speed at this point. I'm not saying the guy can't play. The guy can't be good in the red zone. The guy can't come away with double-digit touchdowns this year. But, man, does he look slow? And then, again, the other guy in the division's a guy who just got banged up, right? Saquon. So, you're talking about 2 high picks that, be concerned.
And again, this is why I always love the running back by committee. And Miles is our guy, right? But the ability to use him along with Gainwell. And I would imagine we're going to see.
I mean, yeah, I give 15 carries instead of 25. You know, I mean, that's a lot of wear and tear, that extra 10, man. I don't think people realize that. Not everybody, some backs can handle it. Some backs can go forever. Some won't, right? That's how it goes. And it goes like that for a lot of players. But, like, some backs, they never lose their explosiveness, like Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? He's never lost that, like, burst, right? And then there's other guys who lose the burst. And Zeke, what does Zeke have? Like 4 or 5 really good years, and then it was, like, off the cliff.
Yeah, and like Robert says, and I believe Robert, are you a Cowboys fan, Robert? I'm just asking. I'm not saying you are or not. I'm just asking.
No,
but
I don't think Robert is. No,
he's not. Okay.
Robert's always in the chat, I feel like.
No, he is. He's one of our guys. But I really, again, I'm not saying he's had bad years, but he hasn't looked like Zeke in a couple years, Rob. In my opinion, he has not looked like Zeke, and that offense hasn't looked like what it was, to where it's Zeke runs that offense and makes everything easier for Prescott.
Yeah, he's had one bad year. I mean, because in 2019, he rushed for 1,300 yards, 4.5 yards to carry, and 12 TDs. So, I mean, last year he went for 979, 4 yards to carry, 6 TDs. I mean, he does look slower. So I still think he's going to be. I still think the guy rushes for an easy grand. Probably still ends up averaging 4 yards a carry. You know, he probably gets 9, 10 TDs. He probably will if he's healthy, because they can spin it the fuck on you, and that opens up him. I think not having Dak hurt him more last year than anything else, right?
Well, because that offense became
keying in on the run, right? But before, right, when they keyed in on the run, he was such a stud, and that offensive line was so good that it didn't matter you were keying in on the run. Now it's like if you throw it like they can, he'll get yards just because he's going to have holes, and he's gonna run through contact. Like, he's still strong. So, I mean, he just doesn't have that I don't know. He just doesn't have that elusive miss that I feel like he had early on.
You're spot on with last year. It really hurt him because he needed to become the offense, and everyone knew that. It was the most predictable offense in the league last year, especially when Dalton was in and the Danuch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, okay, Danuch is going to beat you, so they're going to rely on Elliott. And okay, if you run Elliott into the brick wall, you know how to stop him eventually, and that's what they did. Elsewhere around the league, I thought, and I was really happy to see this. By no means am I a fan of this team, but so you have the Bengals upset the Vikings in overtime yesterday.
Yeah, I don't take anything from that game too much.
Other than I'm just happy. I'm happy for Joe Burrow. He didn't look like he was overly rusty coming off that injury. I don't automatically think they're a great team or a good team, but I thought it was just good to see.
Yeah. For them, yeah, sure. Yeah.
This next game makes me think maybe I have to eat some serious crow if I'm doing NFL Week 1 overreactions. I might have been completely wrong about the Arizona Cardinals. 38-13 over the Titans. I mean, I was saying the Cardinals, and I did this because I didn't truly believe all 4 teams in the West.
Well, listen, they're all going to, I mean, somebody's going to have to be the last place team, but I'll tell you this side of it, that the difference is Kyler Murray's healthy right now. I mean, at the end of last year, I think the reason they're not a playoff team is he was not healthy anymore.
Half the season he played hurt.
Like, you saw him running around yesterday. Now, do you expect him to go? Mine's the other side. Like, I can expect Arizona to go put up points on you with their weapons for sure, right? My other side of my like week one, like, whoa, is Titans got to figure some things out, huh? I mean, you got a lot of weapons and A, B, C, and D, and they didn't look good yesterday against a defense that's not expected to be like a top 10 or 15 D.
No, I mean, because you could just score points up and down the field on Arizona all last season. I mean, I had the Cardinals as an 8-win football team. I had the Titans as a 12. So after week 1, maybe I should flip that.
Yeah. I mean? Listen, it is what it is. I mean, but then week 1 doesn't dictate everything. You know this.
No.
You know, it can get a team off to a good start and get a team like we're talking about our team here, maybe having a conversation about being a division contender, right? That's what it can do. The real test, like I said, it's hard to even go after 4 games, right? It's hard. Like you could have a team 2-2 or 1-3, and then they go on a run. So teams are going to go on their runs, right, of wins, the good ones, right? And if you want to be a good one, just go on your run at some point. It can be early, late, and indifferent. It doesn't matter. You got to compile wins. Like you can lose the division early and you can win one early. I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at it. So, like, next week's such a fucking big week. But go ahead.
No, the one thing I'll say real quick before I move on is that I think the biggest guarantee in the NFL is you really don't know what a team is until around week 7, 8, or 9. Like that's when you start having a real good feel. Like you get gut reactions, you start getting glimpses of things, but it takes a minute before you really start knowing, okay, this is that team and this is that team, for example. So it's going to be a couple months. It sounds silly to say, but it's going to be a couple months before we truly know what these teams are. The next 2 games, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if we have any crazy thoughts on it. Texans over the Jaguars.
No,
I mean, they
over that.
Nah, I mean, Jaguars are embarrassing.
That's slap and slop playing each other, and I can't read too much into that unless one of them blew one of them out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the Texans blew out the Jags, but who cares? You know
but we know the Texans aren't good, so
yeah.
And what they did.
And the other one, I'll ask you about this in a minute, but you have the Panthers over the Jets, 19-14. I got to ask you this, right? And I'm not going to compare him to an NBA guy because the NBA guy is way better. Do you have like a rivalry with Sam Darnold or something? Because I heard that you were going after him last night too.
No, I just told Wilson that he's going to stink when he was drafted, and that's where I stand.
Okay.
I mean, there's always reasons. There's always a fucking agenda.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to. I was trying to get.
I don't give a fuck what he did against the Jets. The Jets stink.
No, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
You and Ralphie and Sam Darnold.
Hey. First off,
Darnold.
Don't lump me in with Ralphie because Ralphie had 400 plus yards for Darnold as his lock of the friggin' week. I wasn't
in a good spot with having McCaffrey and having some weapons. Like he's in a good spot. He's a sunshine guy to me, and he was the best quarterback in that fucking draft, and that's all that matters, right? Like he's just a sunshine and rainbows guy, not the best QB in that draft. No. But the one game, I mean, I think you got to look at it. Saints Packers. I mean, Rodgers looks like he's ready for Jeopardy, and the Saints we know have a good defense. Really showed up yesterday. And listen, Jameis eyes. So we'll see how that continues. But that's a big win for the Saints to open up the year.
The Saints were that one. I feel like the Saints are the team every year where they fall in the category of like. Before the year, there's a couple teams where you just don't know, right? Like you just don't have a feel for it. The Saints were that team because, okay, granted, you lose Drew Brees, but you and I both know this. Drew Brees hasn't been Drew Brees in 2 years.
No,
right?
You get something better, like in terms of being able to push the ball down the field and do some things. So we'll see. I mean, even the Steelers beating the Bills. I mean, I know people had the Bills in their survivor pool. Like, what are you doing? The Steelers were 10-0 last year before they lost. Like, it's not a bad fucking football team. And, that's a big win for the Steelers. But, and then, I think another takeaway is the Browns can play with the Chiefs. They just got to figure out how to beat them.
Mahomes just does what he does. He's 11-0 in September. Like,
it's amazing.
Whatever.
It's amazing. Like, they had that game in control. And the Bears spend all this money on their defense. Their defense gets fucking smoked by Matt Stafford, and good for Matty Stafford because they're going to win a lot of fucking football games there. But listen, I know we're going to do it on once Wednesday hits, and we'll give predictions. But give me I like to do early because your field change. Everybody's field changes throughout the week, so I want to give like the Monday prediction for Sunday's game against the Niners. I think it's a good start. And then listen, by the time we get the Wednesday, who knows? You might be feeling some way different. But give me your score prediction, and I'll give you mine too. And then everybody out there listening, make sure you chime in and give us yours and why we're. And this is brought to you by Manscaped. And you need to get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Go check out their line of products and get 20% off and free shipping. Cover head to toe by just using the code A2D at manscaped.com. Go do it. And make sure you check out a brand new app my buddy put out. It's freaking phenomenal. It's called Fan Up. Go check them out. It's a point system, and then they have the big contest, the big contest for $225K and a trip to the Super Bowl. So many different things, and you can download right in the Apple Store, and you can go head to head with people, which is really neat because it combines the best of like redraft and best ball formats. There's no salary caps, drafts or waivers. FanUp allows you to pick a new team daily and stack your roster however you like. And there's also pick'em contests. There's so many different things. Go download the app. Go check it out. I got it. I know Rye's got it, and I'm still, not learning it because I've learned it now. But I spent the weekend just dabbling with it and seeing what kind of different things they have. So, go download it. Go download the app. FanUp is where you can find it. Apple Store. So, do it.
First off, the Monday prediction thing, I think it's a good idea because it's like you're combining the reaction from the week prior and also you're looking ahead. And who knows, this might change, right? Like I got to see what the 49ers are looking like. But I said it earlier, man, game plan wise, you should be able to game plan somewhat similar to how you did in week 1. You're not getting anything extra from Garoppolo. I'm not going to do the Trey Lance element yet, even though we saw a little bit of them. Kittle's obviously better than Pitts. Ridley's better than Debo. Their defense is obviously better than the Falcons, but I'm going to go we win a much closer game. So I'll say right now, my gut feeling, I'll say we win like 24-19. I'll say we keep it low again. Like I don't see it being like 35-30. So I'll say we win by 4 or 5 points. I'll say 24-19.
24-19 Eagles. I like it. Rob, real quick. Yeah, I think anybody that doubts Rodgers, I mean, week 1, he looked atrocious. If anybody out there doubts Rodgers, figuring it the fuck out, I think you're insane. You're insane. Because when he gets mad, he almost plays better. So, I mean, I'm always like, if you got daily fantasy, DraftKings shit next weekend, like I would fucking put in Rodgers in a heartbeat. I don't give a fuck who they're playing.
They're playing the Lions.
Well, even more so that
it's done. It's over. The game's already done. The game is done. Like it's done. It's already not even played. What was this break? I hope
you have a week that he's open. You did too.
Yeah.
So we're not shifting.
No.
Yeah, Greg here who will like shift into a win, and you're like, what happened? What happened? Too many people buying in. Listen, I'm right with you in terms of the game plan side of things. Niners are very good. I think we're very good. So, I think we win this game. What was your exact number again?
24-19.
Early feel, I'll say 21-17.
All right, so you're around the same. Dogfight.
Yeah, I think it's a one-score game. Comes down to maybe a late field goal to make it 2 from us if we're feeling good about ourselves, but. I would say it's a close game, and 3-point to a field goal game. I could even say 2017, a late field goal by Jake Elliott right now. But there's just a better defense. So good defenses travel well. I assume they are going to travel well, but their offense doesn't scare me. Now I could also see it be a 27-24 game us, right? I could because the National Football League and teams score points, but. I'm feeling good about it. Just like I was feeling good about Atlanta. I think this is another win. I think the Eagles go 2-0. I think you can book it. I think you can book this one too. You can almost start booking this. Right? They got to travel home, then travel here too. Their quarterback fucking stinks. So unless they got something big up their sleeve with Trey Lance, that's going to fucking worry me. All right, because I ain't worried about North Dakota, South Dakota, or Dakota, period. And I sure as hell ain't worried about Jimmy G. Because Trey Lance, out of all the quarterbacks on my board, and it don't mean shit, was my last out of them first-round quarterbacks.
Well, I think
Justin Fields ahead of him, and people think I hate Justin Fields. I don't. I have Justin Fields ahead of him. I just didn't have either one as a top tenor. That's it.
This is the game. This is the last thing I'll say. I think this is the game where you truly find out. You come out of this week having way better of a feel of what Jonathan Gannon is as a coordinator, and I'm not saying we have no idea what he is out of this game.
Well, you can say the same thing for your offensive side of things too. I mean, Nick Sirianni, you're going against a better defense. So you talked about play design and everything like that earlier. I think it goes twofold.
I would just say with the what's up, Young Das?
What up, Young?
The way they can beat you different ways, the misdirection, all that stuff. There's a little
Niners,
bit. Yes.
Yes. I mean, good play call.
Yeah, like if you're able to make the adjustments that you did against the Falcons, against this team, I already feel I like Jonathan Gannon the second he got here. Okay, the second he opened his mouth talking about, hey, his players are his scheme, not his scheme or his players, or whatever the hell he said. Whatever he said was awesome. That like he's going to fit his scheme to his players. I think you come out of this week in a win. You go from feeling good about Jonathan Gannon to feeling great about Jonathan Gannon if you come out with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you can say the same thing about the other side of the football too. You know, if they look good offensively like they did, not saying in Atlanta, but if they look, wow, Jay, I mean, good, wow. I mean, listen, people are going to be, woo. I mean, people are going to be running down broad if that's 31-10. Well, it's wins or wins. I don't care how you get it. I mean, to me, you got to figure out ways to win football games, and some are going to be dogfights, some are going to be pretty, some are going to be ugly. But if you learn to get the locker rooms with wins, that's a huge thing. Huge thing. Rob says, I had a win versus Atlanta, but nothing really happened that made me waver off 8-9. That's fine. I told people that, like, I don't want week one shifting people's mindsets to something fucking crazy because that's delusional. But, like, for me, I had them as a team that should win this, that I think can win this division and will. So, you know, the reason I think the magic number is 11 is because I think the Cowboys get to 10. So I think you got to get above them. That's why I think 11 is important. And 11 happens by winning games like you taking care of a team you're better than in Atlanta, and now a team that I could argue that is like real comparable in terms of like where they should be as a 10-11 win team in the Niners. You know, you win a game like this, I think your credibility now goes up a level, right?
Absolutely.
And that's where we're at right now. So I think if they win Sunday, those people that are 8 and 9, I think Brink will then start saying, rightfully so, hey, maybe they are a 10-win team, right? Because then you could jump that too. Then you're allowed to say, you know what? They're better than I thought they were. Doesn't mean everything can't go south, but they're better than I thought they were.
Tom, I completely agree. And I'll just say to Brinks, I don't know if you heard this earlier, but I also had them starting the year at 8-9. So I was right there with you. And to your point, Tom, like I never at any point had us starting the year 2-0. I had a loss mixed in there somewhere, whether it was
you got some good feelings going around Monday. And like you said, it can change by Wednesday.
Well, you know what that means too, right? Like to your point, if you win this coming Sunday and you start 2-0, well, then I start moving the needle then because, okay, you started a game better than I thought you would. So then I start moving 8 wins to 9 wins, right?
Or 10, you know, or
then it moves again if you beat Dallas.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, listen, if they go 3-0, I think everybody's an asshole if they don't have this team as a playoff team. Then
if you
go lose Tampa and you can go lose the Chiefs and that's fine, right? But then you're going to come back and you're going to or whatever the schedule break up. Then you're going to beat the Panthers, right? So like I have us beating the Niners, I have us beating the Cowboys, I have us beating the Panthers, I have us losing Chiefs, Bucks. Now that being said, if we're 3-0, I might be switching one of those games.
Well, it makes you rethink everything.
Yeah. Like if we go 3-0, then I'm saying, well, I mean, I know who the Chiefs are and I know who the Bucks are, and they're both represented. But now, if you go win one of those fucking games, then everything's on the fucking table. I mean, then you can start talking about, listen, NFC title contender. Hey, they're definitely going to win a playoff game. Then your expectations can really shift. I mean, I even think 3-0 has got to shift your expectations. I think 2-0 doesn't have to shift it drastically. Like you can go, like you said, right? Maybe 9 wins, still seeing themselves. They're a game out. They don't make the playoffs. They're a game out, right? Like all that to me is completely like okay. They go 3-0. I mean, motherfuckers gonna be jumping from 6 to the fucking 12.
Well,
the Cowboys too, right? It's the Cowboys too.
Yes.
On Monday night, you go win that game, and I don't even want to look that far ahead. But you go win that game. Woo! I mean, this season's gonna blow up.
Well, what's the biggest argument, right? The biggest argument.
Jalen. Everybody's gonna be named Jalen.
Well, two things. Number one, if you start 3-0, I was joking with this with you last night. I might pull a friggin' Zach Ertz, Jason Kelsey. I might come on this show in week 4 with my hair friggin' blonde. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like we
would do it.
Yeah, we'll color it. We'll get like a yellow crayon. We'll just spray paint your friggin' head.
I'll spray paint my fucking forehead.
Yeah. But then, like, again, if you start 3-0, because we've been, it's not our first rodeo. Like, then the argument's sake is, okay, well, you got Chiefs at home. You've got the Bucks short week at home. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to KC. You're not going to Tampa. So it's like, okay, you know, obviously if you start 3-0, you know how good this team could play at home in years past. So, like I said, you come out of that stretch, and I think it's a real benchmark because A, of how tough it is on paper, and two, how much things open up on paper in the second half. But you start the first week, like you said, you know, Falcons, Niners, Cowboys, Chiefs, Panthers, Bucks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you start that 3-3, 4-2 at the minimum, because I know what you're probably thinking. What, like gut feeling right now? You're coming out of that 4-2.
That initial run there, yeah. I have 4-2. I had the 2 losses coming, Chiefs, Bucks. But I mean, it can go different ways. Like you could, for instance, like you could lose this week and then beat the Cowboys and then beat whoever the next one is, Chiefs. Like it could be crazy. I don't see that side happening. But if they go 3-0, then I could be changing that 4-2. Like even though it's games I believe they're going to win, right? They still got to go win them. Like just because I think they're winnable games, that really shows me though that okay, this team is damn good, right? So I mean, you can learn a lot in 3 weeks. And like Rob said earlier, you know, Dallas plays the Chargers. That's not easy. That's a tough game. I mean, Dallas could easily go 0-2 and seeing you. Now, that's desperation for them. So you might lose that game then. You might be 2-0 going in. You lose it, right? So that's why I never look ahead in a schedule, right? And I don't do it before the season because you don't know where teams are going to be at when you see them. You could run against a team that's 4-0. Right, in week 5, that game doesn't mean as much to that team. So you can go beat a 5-0 team and make them 5-1 because it might mean more. That game might mean more to you. So the play ahead schedule is just me. It's always been, last place trains the schedule. Okay, I think our team's really good. I think our team's better than people think we are. We're gonna win this division. That's the only way you can do it. Like week to week is so fucking hard. I tell people this every year, right? I always like preach it. Like I don't know. They could be without. I don't know. They could be without Micah Parsons that week. They could be without somebody else. We could be without somebody. So I have no fucking clue. I know this week, and I know what's coming into town, and I know what we got going to work with. So I can per se gamble on this week.
It's gigantic in this sense,
Good,
Tom, that you can. What's up, Jakes? You can go into it scenario wise, where coming out of the Dallas week, going into it. Say we start 2-0. Dallas drops a game, say they freaking win. Say they win against the Chargers, right? That's 1-1. You can have a situation where if you beat Dallas, and I'm saying if the Cowboys beat the Chargers, which they could very easily lose, and they would be 0-2 like that.
Yeah.
Say they win against the Chargers and then we beat the Cowboys, we would be 3-0. They would be 1-2. That's gigantic when you talk about, okay, I have the Dallas Cowboys finishing at 11, us at 8. Well, that's a swing. They're starting the first 3 weeks 2 games down to us. That's gigantic.
Huge swing. I think we got to go. We got to go take care of business this weekend. But listen, I think they're going to beat the Niners, and we got over 120 people watching on YouTube and only 58 likes. Need you to pound the like, pound the fucking subscribe. Fly Eagles, fly. Moritz is coming in from Germany. Go Birds from Germany. Blue, silver. It matters in November. Yeah, but wins now matter too, and losses now matter. But yes, I believe the season starts in November. But right now, you still can't. If you compile wins, that's a big thing. Shannon Sharp saying not beating the Cowboys. We'll see. Not, I'm talking Niners right now. I'll talk to you about the Cowboys next week when it's Cowboy week. This is Niners week, and we're beating San Fran. Hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, and become an A2D member too. And win some goddamn money. The link is pinned right in our top of our comment section on YouTube. You get gambling picks from Money Pop Podcast, Nate Moss. You get Willie Vegas, Daily Fantasy. You get jersey giveaway entries. You get 20% off our A2D gear. You get 20% off all campus. You get shout outs. We're going to have a fun like around the horn starting soon for our members. All right. All kinds of shit. So become an HUD member. The link's right at the top of our YouTube, right in our comment section. And hit that goddamn like and hit that fucking subscribe.
No, and fam, with the picks advice, listen, A2D's hot this week, getting off to a good start. Nate had a good week. Obviously, Tom and I had a good week.
Yeah, and yes, Sam. Yeah, the Niners give a 30 point. They give 30 points to the Lions. So,
yeah.
The Eagles are +4 at home and now 3.5. It definitely should change as we get closer to game day. Yeah, I mean, home dog. I mean, this is a game I love. I'm starting to love this game too. Because I think the majority of the public thinks San Fran is the better team, and I get it, and rightfully so. And watch again. Boom. They're going to win another game.
I know Christian asked, do you think Sirianni was being conservative in the fourth or too conservative in the fourth? Absolutely not. No, but at that point, you're just trying not to lose the game at that point. You have a commanding lead at that point.
Yeah, that's what you want. Unless you got the Sports Hounds coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to confirm their time.
7:15.
Okay, 7:15. There it is. Let's confirm it. 7:15. They're going to be doing an NFL 1 recap. They'll be talking MLB playoff race, which is sad here in Philly, and their biggest NFL takeaways of week 1. And then I believe you got Flight Zone coming up at 9:32. I haven't heard anything from Jim and Ev that they're not doing a show, so I assume
they're talking. They're doing the biggest losers and winners from week 1, and they're doing a Jalen Hurts full performance breakdown also.
Oh, nice. Well, listen, he played fucking great. So if anybody's not on, if everybody's not Team Hurts right now, then you just ain't an Eagles fan. Bob says Hurts jersey sales will skyrocket. Oh my God, Bobby. 3-0. I mean, everybody's naming their kid Jalen. I'm telling you, Jalen and Nick. And we do match. I'm always saying the Cowboys. We match up well against the Chargers. We better not go 0-2, or I'm coming for that fat boy's job. Yeah. Well, he's gonna be in trouble. Where's that game at? I guess that game's in Dallas.
I believe so. I would imagine so. Yeah.
Or are they 2 games straight on the road?
I would. Well, that's exactly. I would be shocked if they start them off 2 games.
Well, then they were starting the Chargers off 2 games in a row on the road. So either way, somebody is.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that game's in L.A. That game's in
Are
LA.
you kidding? Wow. Oh, I'm surprised Cowboys fans are crying from the rafters.
2 straight on the road, and then when they come home Monday night.
Look at DJ, Cowboys fan. DJ says, "Y'all lucky I love you guys because y'all are hurting me today." Listen, man,
you lost against the best team in the NFC. So I mean, it's not.
You had us sweating over here because listen, I was on the phone with Tom and I was not about to get my NFL year started watching the Cowboys go to Tampa and win. So
and your
quarterback looked good. Your quarterback looked really good. And
you got Giants in Washington Thursday night. So somebody's going 0-2. Somebody's going 0-2, and if I had a gamble on that, that's going to be the fucking Giants. So
that's like the slop bowl. Could I make the argument that Heineke is going to be a better quarterback than Daniel Jones?
No, you absolutely can. Joker. I mean, my opinion of him is listen. He had some big plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want to see. Year 2, get better, Jalen Reagor. Like, I know I've been critical of your ass, and a lot of people have, but that's what you get when you're a first-round pick and you're drafted over to Rookie of the Year. You're going to get people get fucking critical of your ass, or a guy who should be Rookie of the Year, wherever you want to slice it, right? You're going to have guys get critical of your ass. So that's where it is. He looks better, and let's see it week in, week out. It's about consistency in this league, right? And that's a difference maker. Who do I think is going to win tonight's game? Let me look at the line though, because I like giving you lines in 2021. I don't like telling you, who's winning, because I don't
we're not straight up guys. We're not straight up.
I don't think anybody cares in terms of that.
No. I don't even know the line yet, but I know how I'm feeling.
Baltimore's given the Raiders 3.5. It's in Vegas. I'm almost going to tell you to take Vegas tonight.
Tom,
I think you take Vegas tonight.
I felt good about it. Now I feel great about it because you and I we're hot. We're about to we're going for 7 for 7 tonight. I was going to say take Vegas outright before I even heard you say that. I'm feeling the Raiders. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win, but if you can get it at 3.5, I think they cover. I don't know why, but I think they cover.
I just feel a week 1 panic for Baltimore right now. I mean, they've had panic all preseason, which I feel
got guys banged up. They're good, but They got guys banged up.
Yeah. No,
So-
I like the Raiders tonight. I really do.
Yeah, Daniel Jones stinks, DJ's world. He's the fucking worst. Now,
Well,
take
Daniel
that for a
Jones
grain of
gets-
salt, me taking the Raiders tonight. And people saying Ravens cover us, and I hear you. I mean, they're the better football team, but, Derek Carr can play quarterback in this league, and they got weapons, and they got a good head coach, and John Gruden. Let's see if they can take a step, because they paid a lot of money to take a step there, and they've had a lot of draft picks and a lot of other things. So let's see. Let's see. I think their defense is Swiss cheese, the Raiders, but
Yeah.
Lamar also can't throw the fucking football enough for me yet.
I was gonna say, I feel
And for fucking 200,
Well, granted, fam, Tom and I, we're not hitting you with locks of the week. This is not a lock of the week, so nobody's saying that, right? But to me, it just feels, again, gut feeling wise, it feels like if they can get Lamar to turn the ball over a couple times and Carr can use his weapons, maybe you get a big game out again, because you have Waller. And then obviously you have the kid they drafted last year.
Ruggs, yeah.
Yeah, and Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they've got Drake back there.
Well, I would go over. Sorry, I think I would go over. I think there's got to be a lot of points in this game.
Yeah. If it's a low game, the Raiders are in trouble.
Yeah, I'll go over. Go over. I mean, I'm not is confident in that, and I'm not again. These aren't guarantees. I'm not giving I'm not giving out picks. I'm more of an even guy on picks, but they've been hot, so I'll keep giving them out.
Are you gonna miss the annual 2 games on the opening Monday?
Oh yeah, it looks good for you, babe.
Yes, it does.
Do I miss having 2 opening games on Monday?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do. I honestly
have another problem. I have another problem. I got a problem with the single digits on fucking skill position players.
I don't know who anyone is. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I don't like this anymore. I don't like this.
I have no, I was never a big numbers guy before, Tom. Like, I wasn't like, oh, number 68 is that guy. But I would have a feel of I would just have a feel, right? I have no idea what anything is anymore. I'm completely thrown off.
No.
And no, to the 2 Monday games, I've been a big believer that we should have 2 Monday games every week. Like, you should get rid of Thursday and have it 2 on Monday.
2 on Monday, yeah.
Yes.
And always have a West Coast team playing.
Yep.
You can do it. You can make it happen. You just got to pull the fucking trigger. But these guys can't get out of their own ways. Sandy looked good, Sam. I mean, he looked good. Mulata looked great. I mean, I want everybody to know, I want him to be great. I just question everything that goes into it. Just like I question everything that went in the Hurts pick. Like, I just question things because my job is to question. My job is to question when you draft a quarterback when you just signed one to a lengthy deal. And guess what? What we said was the truth. When I said the only reason I can see this is because they think they can win and they think he's going to get hurt again and burn them. And how he comes out and admits to it, that's what happened. Well, guess what happened here? He admitted that he missed on Andre Dillard. So at least he's admitting to things.
You took the word. Like, what are we going to do with him? Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to?
He's a good backup to have. He's a backup.
Yeah,
it's not bad to have backups that can play.
Listen, we know this very well. We needed it in the Super Bowl year. We need them. We need our backups.
No, Bailey, he did not. Landon Dickerson did not play yesterday.
No, but
and there's no reason to rush him because honestly, Salamalu is solid. He's not going to hurt you if your other guys are healthy. Like, he's not one of your Pro Bowl guys, not one of your big money guys, but he's never going to hurt you.
Isn't that great too? Like, we could all agree that.
I mean, Dillard and Dickerson could be starting, right? Sorry. They could be starting. You'd be like, oh, okay. That's who we're starting. Left tackle and right guard, left guard are.
If Dillard and Dickerson were starting, this offensive line would still be better than 80% of the league's offensive lines.
Still better than the Giants. As long as Kelsey, Brooks, and Lane are playing, I don't give a fuck what 2 guys you put over there out of those 4. Like, put whatever 4 you want, whatever 2 you want over there, because the right side is where all your center and right is where all your money's at. If those guys can stay healthy, this offense is going to score a lot of fucking points.
It's so good to know going into a game when fully healthy that Ciamalo is our weakest lineman, and he's good. Like, he's very good. He's not great, and he got on the wrong side of the penalty bug yesterday. But I'm not gonna. It's week 1. Who the hell cares? Like, as long as it doesn't continue. Like, if we're still talking about that week 7, then we're gonna be pissed off. But that is so key that I don't think a lot of people talk about. It's that Ciamalo is the weakest part of our offensive line, and that's not a bad thing at all. And yes, Mark, you're right. Raiders starting 4 new linemen, and like give me Ravens to dominate. Could be true. Could be true.
Absolutely could be true. I'm not guaranteeing you nothing. I took the Raiders. That doesn't mean shit. Yeah, we should have been hanging him up, Jose, a long time ago, brother. Jason Peters. I can't believe he's still collecting money. It's amazing. It's amazing. And listen, everybody out there, not only hit the goddamn like, hit the subscribe, be fucking great today, become an A2D member, get picks all weekend long from Nate Moss, Money Pot Podcast, and Willie Vegas Daily Fantasy Advice, $9.99 a month. And you also get jersey giveaways, 20% off all A2D gear, 20% off all campus, and you get fucking personal fucking shout outs because we see it even clearer because you got badges and we got an around the horn coming for the people. And anytime you ever want to call in, if you do, ring us, then you can too. So a lot of fucking openings. Become a member. It's pinned right to the top in our comment section on YouTube. Who's going to become a member before we get off of here in 5 minutes? Somebody's got to. Somebody become Reborn Soul Vibes. Hello, family. Football is back. It's Renee. What's up, Renee?
What's up, Renee?
You know it's back. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Don, the NFC North is extremely bad. And I'm going to flash up some promo codes for the family. One being the 20% off and free shipping with the code HUD at Manscaped. Go use the goddamn code, head to toe. They got so many different things. And listen, people are using it because they told us. People are using our code. Use it. Pound our code in everywhere. Right? Body Check Wellness too. You can get 25% off there. You're getting 25% off. I take the Clarity and Focus. Go order a shit ton of it. Fucking mushroom plus what? Enhanced mushroom plus reishi, lion's mane, sorry. And an ashwagandha that I don't even know how to say, which is
lion's mane?
Yeah, fucking locked in. Locked in at bodycheckwellness.com. I ain't taking nothing. I ain't preaching to you about. And make sure you go download the Fan Up app at the Apple Store and come compete versus me and come win some money. There's tons of things over there. It's taking daily fantasy to another level. It's really cool. Go check out the app. Download it at the Apple Store. Fan Up.
I have one last question for you and the fam pertaining to yesterday. To fill in the blank. Yesterday was the best day you had as a Philadelphia sports fan since blank.
Since the Phillies won 8 in a row. Like if we're talking about all teams. Since the Phillies won 8 in a row, and we all kind of thought they had a chance. Like when they were in first place, that's when I was feeling good. And I ordered the MLB package in Florida, the extra innings, and I was able to watch them. And then they slowly just said, fuck you. And they freaking stink now. So that was the last time I was happy.
I think
I was happy after round 1 of the Sixers. I was happy. Round 2, not so much. I'm just giving you my happy moments. Before that, I was happy on draft night when it was DeVonta Smith. So I mean, I'm just segueing moments. Before that, I can't even fucking tell you when I was happy.
This was the happiest I've been as a Philadelphia sports fan since the day before the Sixers blew the 30-point lead against Atlanta.
Phillies didn't bring you in?
I was having fun, Tom, but I knew they were going to hurt. I knew they were going to.
Oh, everybody was happy.
No, I was happy, but yesterday was a cleanse, Tom. Yesterday was like, oh my God, we deserve this.
I mean, I was happy for a whole month in Florida, so nothing really like was unhappy for me.
Yeah, fair.
You're in a fucking pool when there's palm trees, but but that little 8-gamer, I think they went on a 6-game or 2, and they took over first place. And we were like feeling good, and then it all started going down slowly.
No, I mean the funny thing is like the 8-game winning streak wasn't even like peak happiness for me for this season. It was actually during the All-Star break because it was how we finished the first half of the year to where we beat the Sox, and I think we beat the Padres or something. And then it looked like we were getting healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like just that week where it's like we looked like things were starting to turn a little bit, right? So that week where it was just like we were just massaging it, right? The 8-game winning streak was awesome, especially seeing the crowd back and the alumni weekend was awesome. But I knew they were. I mean, they did. I mean, it's the Phillies. They're going to hurt us. But you know what they didn't do yesterday? I told Pete, because Pete completely murdered me in fantasy. Congrats, Pete. I have to seriously reevaluate some things with my team right now. That didn't hurt me. The Phillies, they couldn't touch me. I saw 2 Ben Simmons new reports. That didn't touch me. It's like nothing could hurt me yesterday, Tom.
Yeah, nothing could hurt me yesterday.
No.
Not after winning a game like that.
No.
Can't hurt. Can never hurt.
Mm-mm. And I thought they were going to win. Like, I wasn't shocked they won. It was how they won. How they won brought it so far back for me. And it all could be erased this week. Listen, if you lay an egg this week, then I'll be back to my usual self. And the panic meter, listen, we're starting the year panic meter minus 50. Panic meter could be up to 7 by next week. It could.
Oh, it can. Bill says, how do you get a blue wrench? Always wondered that. Become an HUD member right over on YouTube. It's right in our comment section right at the top. You can see it if you're over on YouTube. And I told you guys, $9.99 a month get you gambling picks, get your daily fantasy advice, get you discount codes, the HUD merch discount codes to all campus. Listen, get you everything. Jersey giveaways. We got it all. We're giving away the whole fucking kit and caboodle for $9.99 a month. Ryan just dropped the link in there again. So there's the link right there. Become an HUD member. And if not, if you can't, you don't got $9.99 a month, and you're not trying to win money, because like nobody's giving a gambling service away that cheap. Nate's gonna win you money. Willie's gonna win you money. If you can't do that, then hey, become a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button, pound the like, get us over 100. Keep pounding it. And stay tuned for the Sports Hounds tonight and Flight Zone. Follow on them. Mm-hmm. So plenty fucking NFL and Eagles talk to go tonight here. You can really enjoy your goddamn Monday.
The first victory Monday we've ever had on this show, Tom.
Yeah, it feels good. We did a little fucking parade.
We started this show in the probably the darkest of times last season.
It was ugly. It was ugly. I had to figure out a lot of ways to defend fucking 11 last year. That's all I remember doing. Mr. Wing, I think he probably took that jersey off. You'll find out tonight at 9:30 on the Flight Zone if he's still wearing that jersey.
I saw him defending him on on Instagram.
I don't know why anybody would defend him right now. There's nothing to defend. He's not on my team. I got nothing to defend. I'll defend my guys that I go to war with, per se. They're the guys I'm defending.
He was coming after us on our Instagram post because like the Colts fans were panicking. They were like, oh, why is Wentz our quarterback right now? So I posted it. I just said this morning, I'm like, Colts fans are struggling. Jimmy was not happy with the post. He says, people are so obsessed with this guy. I'm like, I'm not tweeting. I'm not tweeting why is he our quarterback. Just saying, I'm just checked in with the Colts fans. Make sure we don't forget.
Yeah. Well, play 75% of your snaps.
Yeah.
That's all. But, Bill, get that fucking wrench, Bill. Come on, baby. Get the wrench. Get the wrench. Somebody else get the wrench in there. Become a member. Win some money. Nobody's doing this. Everybody's asking you to give them money. Nobody's asking you to win the money, right? Everybody on YouTube wants your money. We ain't want your money. We'll take the $9.99, but we're giving you money for the $9.99.
Free
you
jerseys,
can triple
too.
your money.
Free jerseys too.
Free jerseys. Everybody wants your money, but they ain't giving you nothing. We're giving you something, but then asking for your money. In exchange, we're giving you a bunch of shit. And picks alone, and jerseys. Every week, somebody's gonna win a jersey. Every week, random jersey. We'll do it on Mondays that we spin the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel on Mondays with all our members for jersey giveaways. All right? It'll be something we do at the end of every Monday show start next week. I got 7 of them sitting here waiting to give away. I got a Moana jersey I got to give to another member. And so, listen, let's go. Get in the wheel spin.
Is this going to be like a real wheel, or are we going to have like a simulator wheel?
We can do the simulator wheels.
Okay. I was going to say I can get Ralph to make a wheel.
Yeah, we don't get that tomorrow, Ralph.
Well, Ralph's not going to actually make the wheel. He'll end up hurting himself.
What, Don? What? You're waiting for the Kate Cunningham. I know. I was in Florida for a month. No jerseys. I got it all figured out. My wife's going to start handling the mailing process for me because I have no time to be mailing shit out to people. I'm too busy with this shit. Be mailing. this time of year. So she's going to handle all the ins and outs for me here. All the ins and outs. Permanent shipper.
We should have that A2D mail time.
We'll show you the boxing process.
Yep.
All right, family. We love you. Stay tuned tonight for the Sports Hounds following us at 7:15 and the Flight Zone coming up at 9:30. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. We'd like to thank FanUp, our new station sponsor to A2D Radio. Go check them out. Go download the app, right in the Apple Store. FanUp's the app. You see the logo right in the right-hand corner. And go get into the Flexball contest tonight. It's incredible. Make sure you sign up before Raiders. Go check it out. Get a feel for it. And I believe we spoke in the promo code should be good. If not, you can still download the app and get going. But use promo code FANUP for your chance to win it big this NFL season. And they're giving away $50 worth of points because it's all point process. So they're giving $50 worth of points. So go use the code FANUP. Get yourself $50 worth of points. Just constantly giving here. That's all we're fucking doing. Constantly giving to people. Constantly giving. And use the promo code A2D. Get 20% off at manscaped.com and free shipping. More shit we're just giving away. Can't give it away. That's 20% off. Right? Body Check Wellness, 25% off a promo code A2D. And you want a new watch? I got a new Apple Watch, but you want a new watch? Go visit La Terrain and use promo code A2D for 10% off. But we were brought to you by FanUp, our new station sponsor. Excited to have him. A buddy of mine's app. He's doing an incredible job with it. It's fucking awesome. And it's better because you can change your lineups. There's no salaries. There's none of that BS. And then you can compete versus people in like daily contests. It's really cool and really fan interactive. And I'm T Arnone 8318. You can go find me over there and challenge me to anything you want. And back up your talk, motherfuckers. Back it up. We're out. Stay tuned for the Sports Hounds, followed by the Flight Zone. And Fly Eagles Fly. We're 1-0, about to go 2-0. We'll see. Me and Ryan will see you Wednesday night. So turn your damn alerts on. Stay locked in. Oh, it's good. Feels good. Football's